Because they're talking about like her and chasing after her and love and feeling. Passion is marble.
Exactly. A marble statue or a marble vase is not going to have feeling. It's just cold and hard, and it doesn't go together. Which is kind of like, okay, we've got this image of passion and love and all of that, but what's it on?
Marble.
Marble. And what's the thing that it's the thing? It's made out of marble, but it is an urn that we put the ashes of dead people or cats if you're in the religion department. He said I could say who it was. Dr. Olson, thank you. Yes, Dr. Olson, somebody in his family had a cat that died and they put the cat's ashes on the fireplace mantle, so it's kind of sweet, but it's kind of scary too. But I don't know, I like that. There's passion even for your pets, you know, you love your pets even.
We have a pet crematory down the road from us.
Really?
It's called Ashes to Ashes.
Oh
For
no.
pets?
That's precious.
Okay. Wow. For animals? Okay, so just like that idea here, thou silent form, he's talking to, remember that whenever we get a thou, whenever he's talking to somebody, who's he talking to?
The urn.
The urn, right. Thou silent form dost tease us out of thought as doth eternity. So it's causing us to think about these things because it's a silent form. It speaks to generations, but it's silent. The same way as pipe to the spirit of ditties no tone. Pipe to the spirit ditties of no tone. Because I can't fit the little guy playing the flute under the tree. But it's that same sort of thing. The unheard melodies are sweeter than heard melodies. Unheard are sweeter because we've got the perfect idea in our mind. Do I have music majors in here who like,
Yes.
Okay. And what do you play?
Trumpet.
And what do you play?
Piano and guitar.
Piano and guitar?
Maddie, what do you play?
Sing.
You sing. Okay. Perfect. So it's like if you're playing trumpet and it's like, or you play piano and you can hear the piece. Like, what's a symphony that would be great to play? Or well, not a symphony, I guess. Concerto? I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, who's a great composer?
Beethoven's
Miles Davis.
I'm all for Bach. I'm all for Bach. Okay. So you look at the sheet of music, right? You haven't played it yet. You look at the sheet of music and you can kind of hear it in your head. And it sounds really good in your head, right? It's beautiful. And then
You play it.
you play it the
And it
first time.
sounds just the same.
And it sounds just the same. But that's the whole thing. It's the pipe to the spirit ditties of no tone. Before we hear it, it sounds perfect. And I think about, probably Mozart and Bach and Beethoven, they all heard it perfectly. And I wonder what happened when they first had it performed. Did it sound,
It sounds better live.
It sounds better live than in your head? That's just his confusion? Okay.
I compare it to like when I first heard Spanish. I loved it until I tried to start saying the language myself, and then I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
it's different. It's a whole lot different.
It's a whole lot different, yeah.
So,
And I know that it's like my daughter who's kind of thought about trying to play violin, and then she picks it up, and she's 6, and it's like, I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was.
It's just the acoustics.
But she said, it's all squeaky. She expects it to sound like what she sees on TV, and then it's all squeaky. It's bad. I can't do this. I don't want to do this. And so it's that we have the ideal in our minds, and it's perfect and beautiful, whether it's music or unity with nature or God or the kiss here, it's beautiful in our minds. And so he's thinking about this. If we don't have that ideal in our minds, what's going to inspire us to do the real, to follow the real? If you didn't have the ideal of that perfect concerto, okay, concerto, then you might not be inspired to try to play it if you had no idea what it's supposed to sound like, or, I don't know if it's going to be perfect or beautiful. You might not be inspired to play it. So, okay, we need the ideal maybe, but if we stop at the ideal, if they never, forever will he love and she be fair, oh, that's nice, and the trees won't lose their leaves and all that good stuff, but, and it's also nice, cold, but he calls it a cold pastoral. It's a cold country scene. Pastoral, not to be confused with preacher. Pastoral is a country scene. I got the, that was just the weirdest answer. But it's a cold pastoral because he never actually gets to kiss her, right? No. So there's no real union. Then there won't be any real children, and there won't be any future life, right? And so without life, what do you wind up with? Nothing but death and urns that hold ashes. And so we need, he's a romantic in that desire to like transcend this world. But he's not as bad as Shelley. And I say that, I mean, I have problems, the romantics sometimes are kind of troublesome to me. Because it's like, I'll fly off in happy thoughts. Hence the happy vows. Thank you for reading that for us. The happy love, more happy love.